champs, they definitely want to be playing on Championship Saturday.
And hi, everybody. I'm Matt Janice alongside Monica Moore as two teams squaring off for a slot in the championship match as Towson taking on Delaware. Only fitting that these two teams would get an opportunity to face Charleston in tomorrow's championship because, Monica, they have been the matchup in each of the last 2 years' final match.
That's right. There is a lot of history here. There is a lot on the line. I thought Towson was fantastic yesterday, really capitalizing on their depth against Stony Brook. You have Delaware. They're the defending champions. They lost some players to graduation, but they brought back a couple of leaders who really want the same result that they got last year.
It is electric when these two teams square off. They faced each other twice during the regular season. One went 4 matches. It was a back-and-forth win for Delaware. The other went the distance, and Don Meadows' Tigers were able to prevail. The Hens finishing 15-3 in the regular season. The Tigers 14-4. And it should be a good one. Our players to watch. First for Towson. And we talked about Victoria Barrett, and understandably so. But Zaire Abdul-Rahim was huge in yesterday's quarterfinal victory.
Particularly in set 3, she was the perfect counterbalance to Victoria Barrett over on the right side, coming up with a lot of big plays. She's experienced. She understands what it takes to succeed in this league. And if she has a good game today, it's going to be a great sign for Towson.
Meanwhile, the other side for Delaware, it was her first year in a new role for Lily Rogers, and it has fit her like a glove, the CAA Center of the Year.
She has worked so hard this year. She averages 10.48 assists per set. She's a fantastic serving option. She is one of these players out on the floor that can do absolutely anything you ask of her, and she is really going to look to rally the offense today for the Blue Hens.
Savannah Siemens being introduced, the 5th-year senior, one of the all-time greats in program history for Delaware. The rest of the starters for the Blue Hens as well. It's a kind of a different role for these two teams than in years past. It has always been Towson that has been the more experienced team, but now it's Delaware, the defending champs. They bring back more familiar pieces, although they are missing one major one from last year, Lonnie Mason.
That's right. Lonnie Mason was so huge to this program, but when you bring back Lily Rogers, Savannah Siemens, Kira Johnson, that is massive in terms of the leadership and the understanding of what it takes to succeed. Those 3 fantastic leaders of this group. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do in their opener in this tournament.
You see Kim Lambert and Don Meadow embracing the CAA Volleyball Championship is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above. So much anticipation for this one. Towson, the host program, they've brought a good number of fans out, as they always do. Delaware only about an hour away from their campus, so a pretty good turnout for the Blue Hens faithful as well. For years, it was Delaware chasing Towson. The Tigers have been the standard inside the CAA, a perennial force, and they won 4 consecutive years going to the NCAA tournament. And finally got atop the mountain and got them last year. And now a much different feel when these teams match up, almost feel like contemporaries rather than a big sister, little sister sort of situation. Janae Whitfield Moss.
And we know that the liberos for both of these two teams are going to have to be big today. Keep your eyes on Caden Twin for Delaware. Keep your eyes on Sydney Stewart for Towson. Yesterday, Sydney Stewart had 21 digs, and after set 1, she had 10. She was a big reason that Towson got off on the front foot yesterday. We'll see if she can do it again today.
Savannah Siemens starts it off for Delaware. Good serve for the Blue Hens senior. Zaire Abdul-Rahim, the what a start for the Tigers. The early put away.
And it all starts with the serve receive of Sydney Stewart. They go right to her. She is able to put this ball in system to Maisie Jesse. Jesse with a beautiful set to Zaire Abdul-Rahim.
Calendar serving for Towson. Anna Logan Gillens near the net. Had it blocked. Johnson reacting for Delaware. Another chance for Gillens. Looking for the edge line. Can't find it. And Towson up too early.
Well, you like the idea, trying to go straight down the line. Just couldn't quite catch it inbounds, but an aggressive play by Anna Logan Gillens.
Sarah Counter, big potential X factor today for Towson. Johnson near the net, had it rejected. Barrett making her presence felt early.
The blocking presence has been very big for Towson so far. Domingo doing a nice job in the middle, and whether she's working with Barrett or Abdul Rahim, they are wreaking havoc.
Siemens a little bit too much on that first touch, so Rogers has to send it over. Chance for Abdul Rahim, and Siemens had to dig it out to her side. Gillens another opportunity, but Towson was there. Barrett, her first try, and the touch near the net. It's 4-0 Towson.
Well, you know that Towson is going to go to Victoria Barrett a lot today. She is coming off of a 19-kill performance, along with 13 digs in the quarterfinals.
What a run here from Calendar on serve to get it started. Gillens had it ricochet. Good job, though, by Towson to put the perfect pass and set up Domingo.
Domingo was absolutely a factor yesterday. And Towson is going to force Delaware to call a very early timeout here, a 5-0 run from the Tigers. You feel like they just picked up right where they left off yesterday. Everyone's getting involved. The level of decision-making on the floor for Towson has been huge.
And that's such a good point, Monica. This is the second match of the week for Towson. Meanwhile, for Delaware, they're just getting a taste of postseason play for the first time this year. Now, they've been there before, but how much of an adjustment is that, and maybe a little bit of an advantage for Towson that they have a little bit of a rhythm right now?
Well, that's exactly the word I was thinking of, was rhythm. And you just see the way that Maisie Jetsy is distributing the ball. She looks very comfortable on the floor right now. Already 3 assists and a dig for Maisie Jetsy, who's one of the newcomers here for Towson in terms of making her mark on this program. It has been a fantastic start to this tournament for Maisie Jetsy.
So exactly the start that Don Meadow was hoping for his team. They got off to a slow start first matchup with Delaware, and we're playing catch-up the whole way. We're much better in the second contest against the Blue Hens, and not coincidentally, they were victorious in that rematch. Calendar back to work for Towson. Good first touch from Hannah Wright. Siemens from the back line, and Calendar fought it off. Abdul Rahim, the touch play, but Rogers was there. Gillens had it blocked, but a net fault, and it's Delaware on the board.
That's unlucky for Towson because they've been blocking so well, but now the question for Delaware, can they take advantage? They're going to have Kira Johnson on serve, and it looks like we're going to get a challenge call early on here. So Towson does not think there was a net violation here. It was Domingo and Abdul Rahim along the net. Very early timeout in this game, very early challenge call in this game, but you never know what you're going to get. Towson and Delaware, it's always good. There's always surprises. It's one of the reasons why this is a marquee matchup in this league.
Brandis Payne sitting courtside with us, a rules expert in the match here today. Exactly on the same page with you, just making sure whether the net was faulted there by Towson. So as you said, an early challenge from Don Meadow. And important to get these right when you challenge this early in a match. You don't want to be up against it, down a challenge with a potential, a lot of points left in front of you.
And I think from Don Meadows' perspective, first of all, you trust your players and you trust what you've seen out on the floor. Secondarily, Towson is in a huge rhythm here. They've got a lot of the momentum. He wants that to continue. He has so much respect for Kimberly Lambert and her program, and that call is going to stand. And so you said it, Matt. We'll have to see if that becomes a factor later on in this contest.
So down to one challenge, and Delaware is on the board. It is confirmed. So they got it right. Here's Kira Johnson. Barrett. That big swing through the blocking try of Whitfield Moss. And a side out back to Towson.
Victoria Barrett is so hard to block. She's smart in the way that she hits the ball where she looks to place it. It's a reason why she's the CAA Player of the Year.
Airmailed serve from Elena Domingo, and the service air was something that gave Towson some problems at times yesterday.
So we'll see if Lily Rogers can get Delaware going on serve. As we talked about, she brings the entire skill set. She comes into this game with 33 service aces on the year.
That lefty action, the St. Louis, Missouri native. Adam on the back pedal allows Whitfield Moss to send it down.
And that's all Lily Rogers right there. It was a difficult serve to return. An overpass by Towson, and Delaware grabbing some momentum here.
One hand return attempt from Barrett. Got a good piece of it, allows a get over, but now Delaware a chance to go to work. And it's Raina Hughes, the Syracuse transfer, making it 4 out of 5 for the Hens.
Fantastic approach by Raina Hughes. She is just into this contest, already leaving her mark. Beautiful back set by Lily Rogers.
Feel like this one might be a match of who can contain the other's runs. A service air from Rogers ends that string of 3 straight, and a side out back to Towson.
You're going to see Towson running the 6-2. We saw it yesterday. We'll see it again today as they bring in Kaitlyn Moran to set.
Moran, the true freshman. Great sinking action. Siemens went down to get it. Whitfield Moss kept it up. What an effort from Gillens, but could not keep it inside the antenna. And a point to Towson.
That is unlucky for Delaware. They did absolutely everything they could to try to keep the ball in play. Kaitlyn Moran off to a good start, though, on serve.
Kennesaw, Georgia native. Another sinking action and another ace.
It's a difficult serve to return, and Kaitlyn Moran came into this tournament with 27 service aces on the year, and she has been huge since coming into this game.
So lead back to 5 for Towson. Rogers sets the middle. Whitfield Moss had it deflected. Now to the outside. And unable to put it away was Nakai, who had a good match yesterday. Hughes a little deep, and Towson's up by 6.
I think after that first opportunity, she was feeling it. She was really looking for a big swing there and just got a little too much on it.
So 4 in a row from Towson after Delaware had scored 3 straight. Here's Gillens near the net. On the line, and a Logan Gillens puts it away.
That was the play she was looking for on her first attempt. That time she executes it perfectly. That's a big play by Anna Logan Gillens.
Had 15 kills in 3 of the final 4 matches of the season, 8 times overall on the year for Delaware. Touch play as Erin Brothers just on, immediately making her presence felt, and a side out right back to the Tigers.
Brothers doesn't get that many opportunities, but that was a really savvy play by Moran and Erin Brothers.
Remember, still battling her way back from that serious injury that she suffered at the end of the regular season last year. That one hits the top of the tape. Magical work by Towson just to keep it up. But Rogers back to the middle, and Whitfield Moss finds the opening.
That's huge for Delaware because they've struggled a little bit in serve-receive so far, but somehow they make it work. That's the experience of a team like Delaware.
So now it's Caden's win. First year as her starter at libero. Barrett fights it all. Callender has it rejected. Hughes throws up the brick wall.
Raina Hughes has been an infusion of energy in this contest for Delaware. Take a look at the timing of that block. Well read. It's
actually a net fault against Raina Hughes. My apologies. So she caught the tape, and the point goes to Towson, up by 6. And serving is Sydney Stewart. Johnson couldn't put it away. Second time, is a charm for Kira, and Delaware will get served down by 5.
Really well played and well timed by Delaware. Hannah Wright has a fantastic serve. If you remember her from this tournament last year, she was such a factor with her delivery of these services.
So she has 9 different weapons in her arsenal, but that one goes awry. And the service error, second of the match for Delaware, allows Towson to go back to work up by 6 in this opening set.
That is unlucky for Delaware because they were looking to make a big run there with Wright. And instead, now Maisie Jessie back in the contest. I think these two setters for Don Metal are both having outstanding tournaments.
Meeting at the net, Domingo gets the best of Rogers, and Towson doubling up Delaware.
Domingo's another player you have to keep your eyes on. I thought yesterday she had some really quality plays for the Tigers.
Good first turn on serve for Jessie. Uses the tape this time, but Delaware able to keep it up. Misplay. Johnson has to send it over. Abdul Rahim finds the opening, and the Tigers are cruising early.
I have to be honest, I thought Maisie Jessie was going middle too. I think Delaware did as well. She goes back right side. It was the right decision. Again, a lot going Towson's way right now, but I think a lot can be boiled down to the work of these two setters, Maisie Jessie and Kaitlyn Moran. Their decision-making on the floor has been huge. This has been a work in progress for Don Metal. He has worked extremely hard with his setters, and it is paying off today.
Another called timeout from the Blue Hens, so Kim Lambert uses 2 as her team is down by 8 in this opening set. And you talked about all the work that Don Metal has done with this combination of Maisie Jessie and Kaitlyn Moran. In some ways, very similar players, but they also have different strengths that they bring to the table. Moran, maybe a little bit more of the high ceiling, but Jessie, a little bit better placement, more consistent where she can put it for the attackers. When you add it all up, the combination seems to work very well. And as you alluded to, Don Metal is very willing to make sure that both get plenty of opportunities.
And again, so far, it has worked extremely well. Very impressed with both of them. 5 assists for Maisie Jessie, 2 for Kaitlyn Moran.
So Jessie back to work, her team leading by 8. And Wynn can't get there. Another Towson ace.
The service game of Towson today, it's been very aggressive. We've talked about this. Delaware struggling in serve receive, even when it's not an ace, because of how aggressively Towson is serving the ball.
Taylor Holly, the true freshman, comes on. Good first touch. Siemens able to overwhelm Barrett, and Delaware needed that point desperately.
I think that's a big reason they went to Savannah Siemens. She's one of the most experienced players out on the floor, so when you need a big kill, she is a great place to look.
Her second turn on serve in this match. Off the tape, diving dig from Stewart, and Domingo can't quite get it down as Siemens was there. Gillens met at the net. Wynn somehow kept that one afloat, and it deflects wide on the fingers of Towson. The point to Delaware.
Fantastic point for Delaware. They just keep going over to that outside.
Siemens serving the middle this time. Barrett handles it nicely. Counter, can't quite put it away.
Big dig by Wynn.
Stewart goes back to Abdul Rahim. Right, sent it over, and then the net fault goes Towson's way. The Tigers lead by 8.
Domingo continuing to be a presence along the net. She's very disruptive. She's altering a lot that Delaware is doing, and I love the energy and emotion she brings.
Lily Rogers running out of real estate there by the net. And Calendar back to work. Siemens, a staggered return. Gillens from away from the net, and an easy keep up from Jessie. Wynn had to dive yet again for the dig. Johnson, the change-up works nicely, and Delaware gets service back.
Cadence Wynn is just so steady in the libero position for Delaware. She has been diving everywhere, making a lot of big plays and a lot of good decisions for the Blue Hens.
Double-digit digs in 4 straight matches and 16 of her last 19, and an ace for Kira Johnson, who has really worked to improve her serve and shows it off there.
Kira Johnson with a fantastic serve. She placed it in the right area, and Towson looking a little out of sorts.
Abdul-Rahim right near the net. That was in front of her, but she was still able to get it through the block, and Towson back up by 7.
This is really interesting, and we talked quite a bit about this. They're actually going to Abdul-Rahim more than they've gone to Barrett today, which is an interesting adjustment. She was so good yesterday, and they have really been feeding that high hand.
You can see the frustration from Delaware head coach Kim Lambert. Had her hands on her hips, biting that bottom lip, trying to figure it out quickly on the fly here. Is her team looking for an adjustment? Siemens again, a staggered return of serve, and Rogers sends it off the pin. Towson cruising up 8.
And again, it's the serve receive, and that's where Delaware is going to have to make the adjustment. Credit to Detweiler. She had an awesome serve there for the Tigers.
We really saw her come on late in that 3rd set yesterday against A&T. Rogers goes to Whitfield Moss, and she's deep with it, and Towson is 5 points away from taking this first set.
And they continue to serve so aggressively, trying to get Delaware out of system, and it has been working.
As impressive as we have seen from the Tigers maybe all season. Here's Rogers going to Gillens. Gillens has it sent back. Abdul-Rahim, an ear-to-ear grin.
She's feeling it this tournament. Yesterday, she was absolutely sensational, and she has carried that into this moment today, doing whatever it takes for Towson to be successful.
Tigers playing with emotions on their sleeves and looking gleeful. You have to love it if you're Don Nettle. Rogers has gotten so good at that down the stretch and delivers for Delaware where they needed a point.
Well, this is where it pays off to have a player as versatile as Lily Rogers, because she can switch things up on a dime for Delaware. What a special player she is.
And she gets the turn back on serve. Has played 3 different positions over the course of her career. First year as the primary setter. And needs a run on service right now. Barrett trying to end it, and does. Victoria Barrett, the leaping skills and the power.
This is really what we highlighted at the top of the broadcast. When you have Abdul-Rahim hitting as well as she is, take some of the pressure off Victoria Barrett, and you can really go to her in those big moments. Victoria Barrett, again, player of the year, 60% hitting today so far.
Wynn goes down to get that one, a controlled first touch, and then Hughes and Gillens collide. And Towson ends up with the point. A center line violation against UD. Kim Lambert asking for an explanation. Will not go to the challenge. And Delaware is all kinds of off kilter right now.
And credit the Tigers again. Aggressive serving, hitting the ball very strong in this opening set.
Gillens touch play towards the center. Read very nicely by Nakai. Brothers off balance. Wynn was there. Center set. Whitfield Moss denied by Barrett.
And it may be Victoria Barrett's blocking that's standing out today more than her hitting. Take a look at Barrett, a solo block right in the middle of the floor for the Tigers.
Wynn coming our way, and that'll be an ace for Towson. And the Tigers take the opening set.
If you had to boil this down to one thing for the Tigers, it is the aggressive serving. That was the biggest factor in set 1. It got Delaware out of system. They were a little flustered. We'll see what adjustments they make coming into set 2.
Speaking of flustered, I'm just happy all the equipment is still secure. We will come back for the second set. What a start for the Tigers. You ain't cannot ask for anything better than that. Towson cruising. Delaware looking to regroup. They've got to find something fast. Down a set in the semifinals of the CAA Volleyball Championship.
Matt, can you hear him?
Back here at the TU Arena on the campus of Towson University. And right now it is regroup time for the University of Delaware Blue Hens as they drop the opening set by a wide margin. What a performance from Towson in that first set.
Tremendous in their service game. They were also aggressive when they were swinging. Victoria Barrett hitting 60%, 3 of 5. Domingo, 3 of 4, 75%, and Abdul Rahim, 3 of 6. They hit 55% as a team in set 1.
What can they do for an encore? As this will be Macy Jesse serving to start the second set. Hughes along the far side, brilliantly done. Raina Hughes, who can never caught a potential X factor coming through.
That was a big kill for Raina Hughes to set the momentum here in set 2. I love where she placed that ball. I think they should continue going to her over on the right side.
Kanan Twin gets herself an ace, and Delaware scores 2 in a row to start the second set.
What a response by the Blue Hens. And you just have to take it point by point, not get too far ahead of yourselves. Monster serve by Wynn.
Wynn trying for that back line. Got a little greedy that time, and the service there gives the side out to Towson.
Now Sarah Callender back to serve, and she really helped Towson go on a big run in set 1 behind her service game.
Callender had big performances in the regular season against Delaware as well. Johnson off balance. Had to just send that one over. Here's Abdul Rahim, eats up Holly, and we're tied in the second set.
Zaire Abdul Rahim is just seeing the floor so well. She knows what she wants to do with the ball. She got such verticality over the ball. That was massive for Abdul Rahim.
Good communication from Wynn. Again, the set a little out in front. Abdul Rahim, though, has to send it over. Rogers will get another try. Gives it to Hughes, and she has it blocked, and it goes wide. And Delaware gets the side out back.
So it's Hannah Wright again. We'll see if she can get Delaware going with a run of strong serves.
Senior from Wilmington, Delaware. In her final season with the Blue Hens. Started her career as a service specialist, even though that was a big part of her game in high school. And she finds the back line, and the fiery senior has an ace.
That was such a gutsy serve by Hannah Wright, but it is what we have come to expect from her. Such a momentum play for Wright.
Another good sinker. Towson able to fight it off as Calendar kept it up. A block at the net. Barrett will get another opportunity. That one sent wide as Rogers hanging in there, but couldn't keep it in play for Delaware.
Towson desperately wanting a side out right there because they wanted to get Hannah Wright off serve. So really smart decision to go to Victoria Barrett.
And now it'll be Demango, the senior from Italy, who found her form in this event last year. Transferred her second season with the Tigers. Siemens, the fifth-year senior, delivers for Delaware.
That was such a beautiful set by Lily Rogers, exactly where Savannah Siemens needed the ball to be. That's the experience of those two players who have played together for so long.
And now Siemens, another turn on serve. Didn't get much going in that opening set, and this time she gets her 200th career ace. The fourth player in program history to do it, and puts Delaware up by 3.
Her serve is very difficult to manage, and this is a player that just works so hard. She puts the hours in. It's no accident that she has found the success that she has.
First touch goes over, so now it's Delaware's turn to be aggressive. Rogers goes back to Johnson, and the block goes wide. Delaware starting to find a groove. Blue Hens by 4.
This is such good mental toughness by Delaware. They did not have the first set that they wanted. They have completely put it out of their minds. They have regrouped, and they are playing Delaware volleyball.
Mental toughness from this pretty experienced group. Here's Abdul Rahim. She's got plenty of experience as well, and fits it just inside the line.
This is as well as we have seen Zaire Abdul Rahim play. The way she is hitting the ball right now, it is just going straight down on the ground. It feels like it is almost impossible to return.
Moran, who really turned that first set with her long service run when she scored 6 in a row. Can't use the tip to her advantage this time. The service there, and it's side out for Delaware.
And now the Blue Hens want to take advantage. Towson made so few mistakes in that first set, but now for Delaware with Kira Johnson back serving.
Towson hit better than 500 in that first set. This time the service error gives the side out right back to Towson.
And that's tough for Delaware because, again, that's the moment you really want to take advantage, and instead they commit the error as well.
Now it's Barrett, who's had an up and down year on serve, but when she gets going, look out, and that's a perfect example. No chance for Siemens.
And I really love how Barrett came over to the huddle and is trying to get her team amped up. Big momentum play by Victoria Barrett.
Dialed in. This time Siemens able to fight it off. Win goes to Gillens. Calendar there for Towson. Knock-eye, beautifully done as she gets it down just in front of the dive of Wright.
And the delivery of Kaitlyn Moran on that set, it was a beautiful back set right where Knock-eye needed it to be.
And Gillens had the net fault anyway, but still impressive from Towson. Gillens this time able to stay away from the net. Back play. Fought off by Siemens. Gillens another turn. And it's sent back. Brothers at the net for Towson.
She's just making a lot of the right plays. She's very smart in the way that she executes. And once again, Towson's going to force Delaware into an early timeout.
And this is a Towson team. The Moxie has returned for Towson. You know, it's very interesting. Don Meadow normally likes to really challenge his group in the non-conference portion of the season. This time, he took a little bit different approach with his team. They lost so many key pieces, Irbe Lazda, Nina Chaich, Rachel Hess, among others, and those absences were filled by so many inexperienced players that he decided, instead of litmus tests and opportunity to challenge a young group, he wanted to make sure that they stayed strong mentally. So they won a bunch of games in non-conference, but as Meadow said, it wasn't the stiffest of competition. It wasn't the ideal draw when they got both Delaware and Charleston early in conference play, Meadow said, but we took some licks and were able to work through it, and the confidence we gained early in the season really helped us figure out our roles and fight through some inconsistencies, and they look like a very confident group right now.
They do, and they're just getting outstanding performances by so many different players. I think Sarah Callender in this tournament has really played well. We've been impressed with Ava Nakai, who has come up with some big moments on the right side.
Service air from Barrett. You see both teams going for the lines on these serves. The service air numbers might be a bit elevated today.
Well, a lot of coaches have talked with us about the aggressive serving this week. Come tournament time, you have to do it. You can't be afraid. You have to go for those big plays.
Really, all 6 teams that were in the field this week could wear out an opponent on serve. Beautiful first touch from Callender. Nakai, the touch play, read by Wynn. Center opportunity, Whitfield Moss, but Barrett scrambling back to get it. Callender had it sent back. Stewart, reaction play, but couldn't keep it in play. And Delaware back up a deuce.
And it's Lily Rogers serving. That difficult serve of Lily Rogers.
Again, defensive effort from Callender. Stewart goes sprawling into the front row. Too many for Towson, but the good news for the Tigers, Sydney Stewart's all right. No fear whatsoever.
This is always such a scary moment, though, as Sydney Stewart goes diving into the chairs. I was worried she was going to hit her head in the stands, but what a warrior Stewart is. And Don Meadow over talking with her right now just to make sure she's okay.
What a good break. That front row, they hold. No fans behind the bench, but a support staff member was sitting in the one chair where Stewart ended up, and I think that softened the blow a little bit for Sydney. They were checking to make sure there was no blood coming from her lip, and she is all right, will stay in the game.
But what about that serve from Lily Rogers?
Can she do it again? Goes the soft route this time. Callender down to get it, and a put away from Brothers.
Again, just the consistency of Brothers. She makes the right choices. As you said, she's been dealing with injury. You see the brace on her leg, but her intelligence and her decision-making makes her a player that they have to have on the floor.
Actually made her season debut in one of the matchups against Delaware. Gillen starting to heat up for the Blue Hens, and the lead is 3 for the number 2 seed.
What elevation by Anna Logan Gillens. As you said, this is a good sign for Delaware. If they can get her going from a hitting perspective, she is so difficult to stop.
Here's Taylor Holly, the true freshman. Callender able to fight that one off. Now she gets an opportunity near the net, but Wynn was there. Hughes has been active early, puts down yet another for UD.
Raina Hughes has been one of the biggest standouts of this game to me. She averages 1.67 kills per set, but she is hitting the ball very efficiently, 50%, 4 of 6 for Raina Hughes.
And Hughes, a kid transferred from Syracuse when she came in. I'm not sure necessarily what she expected. Kim Lambert said, coming from an ACC program, I think that she thought life would be a little simpler in the CAA, but very competitive front line for Delaware. Hughes had to learn the Blue Hen system, and it took some time for her to solidify her role, but it seems like the proverbial light bulb has come on second half of the year, and Kim Lambert pointed to her as a potential X factor this week in this tournament.
Well, she did, and she told us, look, I don't think we have seen the best that we will see out of Raina Hughes, and I think we are starting to now see that, and she has, to your point, Matt, put in the work. She's been watching film with some of the assistants. She's really been trying to figure out how she can best help this team, and I'm so happy to see that she is demonstrating all that she can do out on the floor today.
And the funny thing about Hughes, it's her fourth year of college volleyball, but she really has not gotten a ton of consistent time. She redshirted her first year in 2021. Then she did play all 103 sets for the Orange in 2022. But then in 2023, only 10 matches. Didn't play a ton early in this year. So while she's got the age and time in the college system of a veteran, she really has the experience of a younger player. Holly, a young player, another good serve out of the timeout. She's able to fight that one off. Siemens had it sent back. Another try for Savannah. And Barrett able to dig it out. Meeting at the net. Whitfield Moss.
That is an exclamation point for Janae Whitfield Moss, who brings the personality to this team. And she certainly brought the fire right there for the Blue Hens.
Always trying to make her teammates smile. Barrett brings plenty of smiles to her teammates' face, but not this time. The block from Siemens as Nakai denied at the net.
And Delaware just getting more and more comfortable. This is the way we expected to see the Blue Hens play today. Things are starting to click. Taylor Holly doing a nice job on serve.
Using the tape that time to Domingo in the center. Fights it through Whitfield Moss. And a much-needed side out for the Tigers.
Domingo continuing to be so reliable when given the opportunity. 4 of 5, 80% for Domingo.
Macy Jesse back to work for the Tigers. Rogers goes back to Hughes. That's worked almost every time.
I would keep setting Raina Hughes. She is placing the ball so well on the floor. Great job over on the right side. She's playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Delaware by 6. Cadence wins serving. Domingo touch play in the center, but the point goes to Towson.
It's unlucky for Delaware.
It was Kira Johnson on the net fault that time for the Blue Hens. Siemens somehow able to fight that one off. Second touch went too far, and then Abdul Rahim able to put it away for Towson.
And credit the aggressive serving of Sarah Callender. She's been one of the ones today with her service game that has made a huge impact for Towson.
People around the Towson program really pointed to her and needing to have a good match today for the Tigers, and she has so far. She takes that one out from Siemens. Abdul Rahim, though, sent back by Savannah Siemens, who is fired up.
Savannah Siemens blocking the ball with authority. She always on the court is so focused and so intent on making the right play. She is leading by example right now for the Blue Hens.
Barrett. Anytime you need a response, that's a good place to turn.
We've seen it so many times this year in the CAA, but I still continue to marvel at the way that she makes contact with the ball. It is very difficult to return it when she hits the ball with so much power.
Just to make contact with it, let alone to try to control it. So here is Detweiler back in. Siemens able to control that return. Johnson off balance, had it sent back. Holly kept it up. Siemens got it over. Center set. Brothers couldn't put it away. Delaware out of system. Siemens, though, can't find the corner. A touch from Towson. And the Hens end up with the point.
And I thought the Blue Hens did such a good job when Domingo was hitting the ball. They were ready for it that time. They got a piece of it, which kept the ball in play. And they're going to continue to have to anticipate when Towson goes to the middle.
What a difference a set makes. Delaware had an almost negative hitting percentage in that first set. They're at 400 in the second. Stewart fighting off the serve. Brothers didn't get clean contact, but she got enough as Siemens couldn't get there.
She continues to be so impactful in the middle for Towson. It's another good play for Brothers.
So here comes Kaitlyn Moran, the true freshman. Siemens on the back pedal. Rogers goes to Johnson. That one's down. Delaware by 5.
And it all starts with a really good pass. And Savannah Siemens has had to do a lot on the back row in terms of her passing, and she controls the ball very well.
Towson coaching staff looking for an answer in a game of adjustments. Towson punch, now Delaware counter punching. Barrett gets the deflection near the net, and Victoria Barrett has Towson back on serve within 4.
Every time they need a big point or they need to break momentum, they go to Victoria Barrett on the outside. She's almost unstoppable. 6 of 9 today for Victoria Barrett.
And the ace, her second of the match. Towson on a run within 3.
And I think that's the thing that's so impressive. We marveled at Barrett last year, but you see all the work that she's put into her game to even elevate it more.
Siemens had to fight that one off. Gillens from off the net tried the touch route. Good job by Nakai to stick with it. Calendar, cross-court play win was there. Gillens another try, and the block from Brothers.
Erin Brothers has been an X factor. She and Domingo in the middle for Towson in their moments. I think they have both been so impressive. You have Domingo, who's hitting 83.3%. She's 5 of 6. You have Erin Brothers, who's 3 of 5. Towson using the middles very well. But the storyline of this set is the comeback of Delaware. After they looked out of sorts in the first set, they have completely settled into this match. They're getting good play out of Raina Hughes and Kira Johnson. And again, Savannah Siemens, she just does it all. And you look at those 2 blocks that she had, and I think those were difference makers in set 2.
It's funny, Siemens, a kid fit here, trying to avoid this being her final collegiate match. Meant so much to Delaware program over the years. It has really evolved over the course of her career. When she first got on campus, she was such a quiet kid, and she was determined to do everything herself. She had a support system. She grew up right down the road. She had coaches that were ready to help her, but she wanted to be a self-reliant kind of player, and quickly realized the support system is in place to help me be at my best, open myself up, take advantage of all these tools that are being provided, and that's the best path to success. And once she bought into that, it helped her overcome the pandemic, a coaching change, and finally chasing down Towson atop the CAA last year. And she is just such a difference maker now that she has let everyone in. Here's Rogers going back to Siemens. What a job to fight that off by Moran. Siemens there to spoil it from Naka. Whitfield Moss covering ground. Stewart digging it out. And Nakai off of win. Towson within a single score.
Nakai, again, has been such a good option on this right side. She's hitting the ball with so much confidence. She's doing a great job understanding where the block is.
4 in a row for Towson. Rogers going to Siemens for the back line. It's blocked. Rogers will try it herself and misses the corner. We are tied.
Big comeback by the Tigers. Not getting rattled when Delaware started to assert themselves here in set 2.
Barrett has scored 4 in a row on her serve, 5 in a row overall. Gets the return to go over. Nakai can't get it down in front of Siemens. Gillens from off the line. And Barrett, touch play from the back line. Gillens another try, this time with balance. Calendar and it's sent back. Rogers again.
Alongside Janae Whitfield-Moss. The blocking at big moments in this contest. We talked about it for Towson. Now for Delaware, that is a big play on the front line to break that run by Towson.
Kim Lambert's team up a point. Lily Rogers has been probably their best on serve so far. Calendar, though, able to fight that one off. Nakai sends it off the shoulder of Siemens. Gillens off the arm of Nakai, and Delaware's back up 2.
Anna Logan Gillens loves to go right down the line. She has been looking for it all game long. That was a massive kill for Anna Logan Gillens. They really want to get her going because she is so good on the outside. 5 kills for Anna Logan Gillens.
Kid that played for the U.S. Virgin Islands national team, tireless worker. She could almost put in too much extra time. The coaches had to put a limit on how much extra time she was allowed to spend in the gym, especially after she was active all summer long on the international stage. But they love her upside. Kim Lambert admitted this year she would be lying if she thought Gillens would have the type of immediate impact she's been able to provide the last 2 seasons. And Monica, does she remind you of anybody? She has so many similarities if you talk to those around the Delaware program of Lonnie Mason. They don't like making the comparison because that's a tall task to try to put on a player, but they have a lot of the same strengths.
They absolutely do, and certainly want to credit Savannah Siemens because Kim Lambert telling us that she's been mentoring Anna Logan Gillens and really providing that leadership. Huge. And Savannah Siemens has left her mark on this program in so many ways, but I think that in particular is such a big thing that Savannah Siemens has done this year, and it's really paying off for Anna Logan Gillens and for Delaware.
Wild seesaw of a second set. Delaware was in control early. Then it looked like Towson was going to rally back. Now it's the Blue Hens by 2. Rogers serving 4 points away from evening this up. Center set for Brothers, finds the end line, and Towson responds.
I love that set by Kaitlyn Moran. It was placed so perfectly. She works extremely well with her middles.
Now it's Sydney Stewart. Gillens elects to play it. Now coming downhill, Anna Logan too deep, and Towson ties it up again.
She really wanted to go with the power there. Just a little too much on it for Anna Logan Gillens, which is still a lesson I think she's learning. It's been a work in progress because she really likes to go for the power.
Asia Murray comes on for Delaware. Murray, a player the coach has talked about really coming on in practice down the stretch, has not played a ton. Big spot as they go her way. Siemens from the back line. Nakai, touch play. Did Wynn get under it? We play on for now, and Gillens gets it down inside the line.
That is all Cadence Wynn right there. The timing impeccable for the libero in terms of her ability to keep the ball off the floor. Cadence Wynn, who averages 3.53 digs per set, coming up huge.
It was right in front of us, and I still don't believe it. Here's Calendar. What a response. Tied again. Sarah Calendar. Beautiful.
It's been a lot of defense today and service game today for Sarah Calendar, but you can't forget that she can come up with these big moments offensively as well.
It's only the second set, but boy, does this feel pivotal, especially for Delaware. Wynn, controlled first touch. Rogers goes to Siemens, and that one sails wide. Towson is in front.
That is unlucky for Delaware as they once again were going for the big play. Cross court, just could not keep it in.
Seaman staggering to fight that one off. Will send it over from the back line. Huge opportunity for Towson. Domingo had it blocked and it gets down. Murray off the bank makes a huge contribution.
You see why she's in the game. That was a massive play defensively for Delaware. Asia Murray coming up big when her number is called.
Redshirted in 2022, played the first half of last year. And now today, it's the put away from Johnson. Set point for Delaware.
Kira Johnson saw that. It was a gift for her. A beautiful play for Kira Johnson.
Wynn serving to even the match. Abdul Rahim had it fought off by Holly. Johnson from the center. What a diving dig from Jesse. Wynn goes to Hughes. Lefty try. Dug out by Stewart. Calendar from the corner. Holly fought it off. Hughes again. And Delaware has evened the match.
I have to tell you, it feels almost fitting that Delaware went to Raina Hughes for that play. She has been the most efficient option for the Blue Hens, and she delivers once again.
Both teams standing toe-to-toe. Towson making the run in the first set. Delaware the counter punch in number 2. We've got a thriller brewing. Back for the third set in a moment in the CAA semifinal.
If you want to change the world, you need to change your world. Breathtaking, wave-making, comfort zone crushing, adrenaline pumping, smile inducing, community building, thought altering, horizon broadening change.
Today, that's enough.
Tomorrow, who knows?
College of Charleston. Extraordinary happens here.
Bacon. Good morning, everybody. Nothing like the Jersey Mike's morning prep. The sizzling bacon, the slicing of the tomatoes, the bopping of the fresh lettuce.
Danny, what are you doing up there?
I've been living up here for months.
Got a package from Mr. DeVito?
Oh, my bacon sniffing horn. Oh, smell that bacon. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, now we're talking. Freshly prepped every morning. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
Style in sports, it's a 1-2 punch. Originality, that's style.
Today we're going to be helping style some high schoolers.
We're about to get some style in there with some student athletes. We're gonna take these kids to the next level.
They were fire.
You know what I mean? Something different.
Some swag.
Get it.
Under Armour, we here, man.
Style is all about a representation of yourself.
If you look good, you feel good, you play good, it goes all in one.
This is TU, where big college promises turn into life-changing action. Opportunity here isn't pie-in-the-sky thinking. It's out there in the world doing. Potential isn't in the future. It's now, in every line of code, in every creative spark. And discovery isn't starting from scratch. It's digging in to your existing momentum. Join a community of doers and grab life by the stripes at Towson University.
The CAA Volleyball Championship is brought to you by SoldOut.com, the official ticket resale partner of the CAA. I'm Matt Janis with Monica Moore, our entire Flow College crew, and An entertaining first two sets, all Towson in the opener. Delaware storming back in the second, but then it looked like Towson was going to steal it, and the Blue Hens had just enough resolve down the stretch to get things evened up.
And I think a big storyline of set two for Delaware was the defense. They really picked it up defensively. They had 5 blocks just in set two alone, 14 digs. Savannah Siemens, I think, really stepped it up a notch. She handled a lot of the balls on the serve receive. She handled a lot of the balls in terms of digging them and getting them to the setters so that Lily Rogers could do what Lily Rogers does.
I think if you told Kim Lambert that the Blue Hens would be hitting 162 through 2 sets and Towson would be converting at a 358 rate, she would be very happy, tied at a set apiece. Don Meadow, maybe not so much. If you're Don Meadow, what's the message to his team? Because they were right there. Could very easily be up 2 sets to none.
You know, I think for Towson, they just have to keep relying on the things that have been working. They have to keep serving aggressively. They have to keep utilizing all of the options they have on the front line because they are hitting the ball really well when you think about Barrett, Abdul-Rahim, the middles in Brothers and Domingo, and of course Nakai. We've talked a lot about her. She has become a very good option over on the right side. So again, they just need to regroup. They were right there in set two. Delaware, again, to me, it was just the defense. They picked it up a notch, and I thought Savannah Siemens really showed so much leadership on the floor with her play.
And try to keep things loose with Anna Logan Gillens, uncharacteristically fiery in that second set. I think she could sense that Delaware needed a little bit of a wake-up call. Victoria Barrett almost provided the wake-up call in that second set for Towson, a long service run, and she almost beat the set for the Tigers. Instead, we're deadlocked. Third set to begin, and Lily Rogers to serve for the Blue Hens. And a service there was trying for the end line and just missed.
It's a really good eye by Victoria Barrett. That's the experience of a player like Barrett who knew exactly where that ball was going to go.
See if Barrett can find that form again on serve. The sinker, Gillens able to handle it. Murray back in, and too deep for the junior.
And give a lot of credit to Victoria Barrett. You talked about it earlier. Her service game has improved so much, and it has been such a big asset for Towson.
Siemens ducking down out of the way, and it's a service here, and the side out to Delaware.
And same compliment to Savannah Siemens in terms of her understanding, knowing where that ball was going to go. That's what you get when you have the experience levels of players like Siemens and Barrett.
Holly serving for Delaware. They set the center. Domingo puts it down. Brilliantly done. Kaitlyn Moran laying it on a platter.
We've talked a lot about that, the decision-making of the setters for Towson. 13 assists for Maisie Jesse, 10 assists for Kaitlyn Moran.
And now it's the senior transfer from D2 Auburn in Montgomery. And Hughes able to fight it through Brothers and Delaware.
She has been the storyline over on the right side, so efficient. Her ability to place the ball, to understand where the block is. She is 7 of 10, hitting 60% for Delaware.
Good first touch from Barrett, and Brothers puts it away. Excellent execution from Towson.
It's really impressive what Erin Brothers has been able to do today. She's been battling injuries, doing everything she can to keep herself out on the floor, and you see why they have to have her in the middle. She converts time and time again.
Holly set that one over. Win, though, good read to come up and get it for Delaware. Siemens tries the cross-court play, but Stewart was there. Abdul-Rahim, who had a big first set, had it sent back. Barrett acrobatically kept it in the air. Opportunity for Delaware. It's Hughes deep, and Towson grits their way to a point.
Just a little long for Raina Hughes, but she's going to keep on swinging. Again, she has had a fantastic match. She's going for the power. She's being aggressive.
Macy Jesse back to work. Rogers goes to the middle, and Johnson delivers.
That's a big play from Kira Johnson, making it look easy out on the floor.
Delaware has won 10 consecutive matches. In fact, they had won 18 sets in a row before dropping that opener to Towson. And Kira Johnson has been such a big part of the reason why, hitting almost 400 during the winning streak. Brothers again, the middle kind of Towson so far in set number 3.
We did not see Towson go this much to Aaron Brothers yesterday, but today they are really feeding her opportunities. And again, Aaron Brothers delivering 66.7%.
Holly, a late decision, might have gotten some help from Siemens. 2 graduates of the same high school program, but 5 years apart, playing together in college. That's 2024.
And it absolutely looked like Savannah Siemens was communicating out on the floor, saying that that ball was going long.
Stewart, good handle on a nice serve from Siemens, and then the block goes wide as Johnson and Rogers couldn't keep it in play. Well done from Barrett.
Victoria Barrett just knows how to attack the block. She knows where to place the ball so that it goes off the block, out of bounds.
Towson by 3. Here's Stewart. Rogers comes to Johnson. Touch play, cross court. Wow, what an adjustment from Kira Johnson.
Kira Johnson just coming alive over these past 2 sets, making very good decisions out on the floor. You're just seeing the leadership, the experience of Johnson.
Stewart sends that one over, meeting at the net and taken care of by Anna Logan Gillens.
Just feel a big momentum swing right here in terms of Delaware, their play along the net. We talked a lot about the defense. The defense has gotten them back into this match, and they are continuing to do a great job on the net.
Siemens down to dig that one out. Demango touch play, right diving to keep it alive. Siemens bumps it over. Here comes Towson. Demango eats up Johnson. Alenia Demango continuing to excel on this championship stage.
And again, Maisie Jesse doing a nice job using the middles, just like Kaitlyn Moran. They work the ball around so much. They're making Towson hard to defend because they're not just going to Barrett all the time. Barrett's only had 11 attempts in this match.
Win off her back foot, able to keep that one up. Siemens from the back row, right through the center.
She's been the player to me in this match. 4 kills, 3 assists, a service ace, 7 digs, and 2 blocks for Savannah Siemens.
Rogers, the southpaw, back to work. Calendar, very good return. Allows Barrett to get a try, but too deep as she tried the cross-court opportunity, and Delaware draws even.
What a game of runs, a match of runs. This has been between these 2 teams. This is absolutely what you expect when it is Delaware and Towson.
It was funny, you could sense it right away. It was going to be that type of night. Center opportunity, Nakai puts it down. Well designed from Towson.
And you see how they can switch things around as they had Nakai in the middle. We're used to seeing her on the right side, but you can't just be one-dimensional. You have to be able to hit anywhere on the floor.
Towson will go anywhere to find a player from Spanish Forks, Utah. There's Murray, the Chicago, Illinois native coming through.
Well, Kimberly Lambert told us that one of the cards up the sleeve might be Asia Murray. And Asia Murray has provided some good rotations for Delaware.
Every year on this stage as Holly sends one into the net. And the service here gives the side out and the lead back to Towson. But Kim Lambert seems to go to someone you would not otherwise expect for an extended role. It was Madison Grunza 3 years ago. And then 2 seasons, Hannah Wright, who had been exclusively a serving specialist, got a little time out there in regular rotation. She's willing to go to whoever thinks can help. Wynn fighting that one off. Hughes again. What a night for Raina Hughes. We're tied again.
Offensively, she has been a revelation today for Delaware. You can see the trust Lily Rogers has in her. She is looking for her any opportunity to get involved. 8 of 12, 50% for Raina Hughes.
Calendar controlled serve receive. Johnson, though, sent it back. Stewart able to scramble. Calendar got the ricochet. What a finish from Sarah Calendar.
That was a smart play by Sarah Calendar. She got just the right amount on it. She was going much more for placement and finesse.
And now we're on the seesaw. The teams exchanging points. Towson back up by 1. Macy Jesse to serve. Siemens put it a tad in front of where she wanted it, but a great set from Rogers allows Johnson to get it done.
Kira Johnson, once again, she has gotten so much more consistent. Her volleyball IQ has improved and improved. It is such a credit to Kimberly Lambert and her staff, the progression that we have seen out of Kira Johnson.
We're going to get a challenge here from Don Metal, a big risk from the Towson head coach, because remember, he has already failed on one. He thought it was a net fault against Delaware. Brianne Spain saw it right away, pointing it out for us courtside. Our rules expert, the CAA, has provided. And with this third set tied at 11, match tied a set apiece, Don Metal electing to risk his last challenge, but he was up off the bench immediately. He had the card almost before the whistle blew.
And I think this is what you have come to expect from Don Metal. He is also a high risk, high reward. Like, he will take these chances just like what he asks for his players to do. And I think, given his body language, he is convinced in terms of this call. He feels very strongly that this should be reversed.
It's been a whirlwind year for Don Metal. He lost so many critical pieces from last year's team that have gone on to have success at Power 4 programs, and then they had all types of injury issues. He joked that early in the season, his injury list would break the printer because it was 3-4 pages long. He was happy a couple months ago when he got it down to a page and a half. He saw that one, and he gets the challenge right. Towson up by 2. The net fault goes to Delaware.
That's a massive challenge call by Don Metal. And again, he felt very strongly about that. It was the right call, and it pays off for the Tigers.
But the service here gives it right back to Delaware. Blue Hens within 1. And Hannah Wright, their serving specialist, comes on. Has expanded her role this year, getting to play the back line as well, but still has been phenomenal on serve this season. Using the tape, but what work from Brothers to keep it up. Wright tried to dig it out, but nothing you could do about the power of Abdul Rahim.
All tournament long, really credit Hannah Wright. She was right there in the right spot, did everything she could, but that was a difficult play to try to make.
What a tournament so far from Zaire Abdul Rahim. Holly on the back pedal. Bump set from Rogers. And Calendar was there for Towson. Barrett. Beautiful.
And what about the set from Maisie Jesse? She continues to impress in this tournament. Racking up the assists today is Maisie Jesse.
Good option where you can turn to Victoria Barrett. Johnson, not a bad option either. Stewart able to fight that one off. From the back line, Abdul-Rahim, wow!
So we always know that Don Metal has some tricks up his sleeve as well. And he's changing around these hitters, doing some different things on the front row than even we saw yesterday. Zaire Abdul-Rahim, she went right through the block. They were not expecting her. They were not able to get the block set.
She fooled me. She wasn't necessarily from the back line. She was just lingering off the net and came charging forward away from that net. Here's Johnson sending it over. They go to the center. Brothers got a touch, and Towson has opened up a 5-point lead.
7 of 11 is Aaron Brothers. And again, this is another thing that's a little different from yesterday. They're going to her a little bit more. You see the confidence they have in Aaron Brothers. They know that this is what they get. 63.6% hitting from Aaron Brothers.
And it's just great to see her excel. We mentioned it yesterday. Here's a kid that has been through a lot over the course of her career. I mean, 2 years ago, Don Metal was talking about Aaron Brothers as somebody that deserves to play. There just wasn't a spot for her. Towson was so deep, but he said she's a hard worker, good player, just stuck behind great players. Then last year, finally fought her way into the lineup. It really solidified her role as one of the catalysts of that Towson team that was trying to make it a 5-peat. And she gets hurt in the penultimate game of the regular season. And it's an injury that not just knocks her out of the CAA championship, but she misses almost the first month and a half of this season. She's still not 100%, and yet just finding a way to make plays for this team really represents everything that has made this Towson program successful over the years.
She absolutely has. And I think from a leadership perspective, when you look at her story and what she has done in her career, it's so inspiring, and it's important, I think, for Towson, who brought in all these new players, to have someone like Aaron Brothers on the roster.
Kim Lambert looking for answers. You can see the concerned look on her face. Hannah Wright able to get that one up for Delaware. Johnson gets it down, and the Blue Hands a much-needed side out.
Talk about an answer. Kira Johnson provides it. This is a beautiful back set by Lily Rogers, and you see where the block was, and Kira Johnson brought her arm around, so it's right around the block of Victoria Barrett.
And now it's Don Metal taking a timeout. Both of these coaches are going to leave nothing to chance. The punch, counter punch of the players is nothing next to the chess match of the coaches. But it's Towson leading by 4 in a pivotal third set. Back with more of the CAA semifinal in a moment. To Kim Lambert talking to her team right now. Communication has been the key this season for Delaware, even with Towson a set apiece, but trailing by 4 points in this third set. And Kira Johnson said it best. The reason why this team was able to bounce back as quickly as they have from losing Lonnie Mason, Ezgi Bassen-Ranlar, and Eileen J., their longtime libero, they just tell each other exactly what the expectations are. An open line of communication. And right now, they've got to find some ways to communicate to stop Zaire Abdul-Rahim. She is dominating near the net.
And I just thought that was a phenomenal serve by Savannah Siemens. You can't ask for much more out of Siemens, but Zaire Abdul-Rahim is just on another level right now in the way that she's hitting the ball.
Service air as Stewart again looking for that back line and missing by a matter of inches. And the deficit at 4 for Delaware with Kira Johnson taking the ball for the Blue Hens. Stewart able to fight that one off. Abdul-Rahim again. This time Siemens was there. Gillen's had it sent back. Guess who?
Zaire Abdul-Rahim alongside Domingo. Those two are quite a force out on the floor. And Anna Logan Gillens right now talking things over with Kimberly Lambert, who is encouraging her player and talking about an adjustment you can make when that block is coming.
On the other side, how about some emotion showed from Dom Meadow? A big two-handed high five for Abdul-Rahim. Gillens, the touch play, but stored a brilliant dive. A forced send over, though, from Naka. Rogers goes to Murray. And a true freshman, Moran, was there. Another freshman, Naka, couldn't put it away. Moran spoils her counterpart. Siemens fights it off. Long rally here. Naka, another try. Right. I don't know how, but kept it up and gets it over. Domingo, the touch play right there again. Murray on the descent, couldn't get it clean. The other side, this time she finds the opening.
We've talked quite a bit about Asia Murray today, but again, just the decision-making, her understanding of the game. It is really amazing to watch the progression that we have seen out of Asia Murray.
Delaware back within 4. Lily Rogers serving for the Blue Hens. Into the net, service here, and Towson leads by 5 with Victoria Barrett about to take the ball.
And that is tough for Delaware as they're looking to get back into this set. Now you have Barrett on serve.
7 service errors for each team. Gillens down to get that one. Back to Murray. Murray gets it in. On the line of the point to Delaware.
That is a phenomenal play by Murray. And when you think about it, she has been in her career one of the biggest supporters on the bench of her teammates. And it is really a great thing to get to see her shine.
Kristen Membrano, we saw her make her debut at the end of the regular season. Here she comes in the CAA semifinal. Domingo couldn't find the soft spot in the center. Hughes had it read the whole way by Barrett. Nakai had it sent back. What a play by Stewart. Murray, though, the response.
Murray has been quite an X factor today. The card up the sleeve for the Blue Hens. You see, Kimberly Lambert, she always has something coming into this tournament. Asia Murray has been big.
Her 3rd season in charge, trying to make her 3rd championship match, but Domingo making that more difficult. The put away gets the lead back to 4 for Towson.
The last 2 opportunities, Domingo had not been able to strike the ball cleanly, but that time she timed it perfectly.
Diving try from Membrano, but an ace. Domingo coming through yet again. So now Holly returns. Membrano out for Delaware. Domingo 4 points away from taking the set for Towson. Rogers goes to Hughes. Barrett high in the air. Murray again. Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Asia Murray, time and time again, taking advantage of the opportunity. She has been a force along the net. You see everyone on the team so happy for Asia Murray.
And the ace for Kaitlyn win. Delaware back within 3.
What a day for Cadence Wynn. She's a little unsung on this team. She has 10 digs, and that is a monster serve for Cadence Wynn.
Still time for the Blue Hens. Another good sinker. Calendar, though, got under it. The block from Johnson. The set to the center. Johnson caught Stewart cheating, but Sydney was able to fight it off. Hughes charging the net, finds the sideline perfectly. lovely place from Raina Hughes.
I love that decision by Raina Hughes. We have seen her go for power a lot on the right side, and that time she saw exactly where the defense was. She knew she needed to turn that ball more towards the sideline. That was such a good decision by Raina Hughes. 46.7% on hitting today. 9 kills, a 3-0 scoring run for the Blue Hens.
Hughes has been big for Delaware. The story right now that Don Metal is probably in disbelief that he's got to figure out has been the presence of Asia Murray. Is Metal taking a timeout with Delaware back within a deuce? Murray, the junior, was born in Chicago, Illinois, but was attending high school in the Delaware area, and the Blue Hen coaches actually found her at one of their volleyball camps. She was a basketball player and actually came to the camp with her good friend Allie Adair, the daughter of former UD women's basketball coach Natasha Adair. The coaches saw Murray's length, athleticism, and raw talent and were immediately like, whoa, who's that? They recruited her with the understanding she'd redshirt, spend a season learning the intricacies of the sport and putting on muscle. Lambert said it was amazing how fast she picked up the game. It's all still so relatively new to her, but you can't coach athleticism, and apparently you can't clutch this either. What a performance from Murray.
Again, she's been the X factor today, along with Raina Hughes.
But Towson still up 2 out of the called timeout. Callender finding the back corner. What a play from Sarah Callender.
Again, it's placement, it's smart decision making. You do not always have to go for the power. And Sarah Callender, she's one of the most savvy players on the floor to me.
So Macy Jesse, her team up 3 points away from taking this set. Rogers goes to Hughes. Barrett tried but couldn't handle it. Hughes puts away another, and Delaware just won't go away.
And I don't know if anyone was expecting that Raina Hughes would be leading Delaware in terms of the attack today. She has been outstanding over on the right side.
And now it's Hannah Wright on for a turn and serve. Callender put that one in a good place. Now she gets an opportunity, but Wright read it. Center set to Johnson. Abdul Rahim had it blocked by Johnson. Rogers took charge. And Stevens eats up Stewart. Delaware within 1.
You can always count on Savannah Siemens to make a big play. She has the entire skill set. We've seen it all game long. 5 kills now for Siemens.
Brothers in the middle, and Johnson denies her to tie the set.
Kira Johnson coming up huge. We talked about the defense in set 2, and that is another big defensive play for the Blue Hens. That's their first block of this set. It was a big one.
Remember, it was Towson who rallied back but couldn't get over the hump last set. Callender, cross-court beauty. Another precise play to give Towson the lead back.
How does she place the ball so perfectly so much of the time? Sarah Callender doing a nice job seeing the court, using her vision to make the right play.
Towson within 2 points of taking the set. Holly fought the serve off. Johnson the spike.
This is a heavyweight battle. This is Delaware versus Towson. This has the feeling of a championship match. This is only the semifinals. What a contest between these two teams.
Winner gets Charleston in that championship match tomorrow afternoon. Stewart controls the first touch. Barrett off balance. What a dig from Gillen. Rogers from off the net. Fought off by Jesse. Abdul Rahim. Did it get touched? No. And Delaware has set point.
And it is interesting because Don Metal only has that one challenge left. And you wonder if he had to, if he would have gone to challenge that.
He will not, and Siemens had Stork go down to get it. Brothers punched it over near the net. Gillens. What an effort from Callender. Rogers to Johnson. And Delaware takes the set. What a comeback from the Blue Hens. But hold on. Don Nettle asking Abdul Rahim, and he will use the challenge.
So this is interesting because we just questioned earlier, would he potentially have, but he did not think it was the right play to challenge. Now he challenges this play on the net violation.
Did you see him go to Zaire Abdul Rahim, and he asked her not once but twice, and she was adamant. And we will see big call right now as Delaware storming back, scoring, if this stands, the final 3 points to take the set after they trailed most of the way by as many as 5 at one stage in the second set.
We saw Don Nettle do that several times last year in this tournament where he would look point blank at a player and ask them, did you touch it? Was it in or out? What happened? He has that level of trust in his players. It's something that we talked about with him earlier this week.
And the call stands. Delaware on the confirmation takes the third set. And the regular season co-champs have stormed back to take 2 in a row and are 1 away from a date with Charleston in tomorrow's final. Don Nettle will have to regroup quickly. His team in a must-win 4th set coming up. This is the CAA semifinals on Flo Collins. Towson stormed out of the gates and took a lopsided opening set. They struggled early in the second, but almost rallied back to steal it before dropping a close decision. They controlled most of the third set, but it was Delaware that was able to rally back and get over the hump. And so now the Blue Hens up 2-1. Don Nettle's team up against it. A must-win to force a 5th set if they want to make tomorrow's championship match. Winner of this one will take on the top seed College of Charleston tomorrow afternoon. I'm Matt Janis with Monica Moore, our entire Flow College crew. We promised you a good one, and my goodness, has it been so far.
And it's really interesting because we somewhat thought coming into this, the storyline is the experienced players. When you think about Savannah Siemens, you think about Lily Rogers, you think about Kira Johnson. They've all been very good. But Raina Hughes and Asia Murray, players who not necessarily were at the top of the scouting report, have been players that have come up big time and time again for Delaware. And I think one of the biggest storylines of this tournament is that depth really matters, that you can't just rely on one player or two players. And the fact that Delaware is getting the level of quality that they're getting out of Raina Hughes and out of Asia Murray, I think that has been what has been the difference maker for the Blue Hens.
Here's a wild stat. There were 5 ties in that third set, but there was only one lead change. Towson scored first. They led the entire way just about until Delaware took that lead at 24-23. And then on the close challenge, got the decisive point. And so now it is Sarah Callender serving in a set Towson must win to extend this match. First touch has been much better for Delaware after the first set. Hughes powering it through the block for the Hens.
I absolutely would have gone to her on the first opportunity here in set 4. And Raina Hughes just continuing to hit the ball at such an efficient clip.
Barrett controls the return and then eats up Rogers. And when you need some points, why not go to the best of the conference?
Barrett, she is the go-to option for Towson. 9 of 15 on the day. Also has 9 digs, 2 blocks, 2 aces.
Rogers going back to Hughes. Touch play. Beautiful diving attempt to keep it up by Devango. Holly played that one near the line. Johnson had it fought off by Jesse. 2 times Towson has saved this point with excellent defense. And it's still alive as the Tigers go to work. Abdul Rahim had it dug out by Holly. What scramble from both of these defenses. Hughes another try, and that one gets down. Raina Hughes.
It has just been something to see. She's going to rotate off the front row, but she has gotten the job done to start out with momentum for Delaware here in set 4.
Anna Wright, who had a big run on serve in that second set to close things out, gets a turn here early in the 4th using the tape. But Barrett on the reaction, and Abdul Rahim had it dug out on the adjustment by Holly. Wright tried to catch him napping. Abdul Rahim, a good job to get there, and then Barrett feasting on Holly as there was nothing the freshman could do about that power.
Another great decision to go over to Victoria Barrett. That is a big kill for Barrett.
You think maybe they should try to feed her a little bit more? 17 attempts is not necessarily a big number for Barrett.
I think for Towson, they're certainly spreading the wealth around, but Victoria Barrett not getting the number of opportunities that she had yesterday.
Johnson able to put that one away. That changeup has become a weapon for her in the season's second half as Delaware's up a point. Siemens, the sinking serve, Stewart able to fight it off. Barrett, beautifully done. Siemens, I don't know how, and Delaware gets it over. Nakai fights it through Gillens. A huge response for Towson. They need a fast start in this 4th set.
They do, and they're going to need to use all of those hitting options that they have. Really try to work the ball around, not make it as easy to defend.
It has been a match of runs, but you don't want to go up against it. Facing elimination as the ace, Victoria Barrett, yet again. That's her 3rd of the match.
And as we've talked about, this has really been a point of emphasis for her, something that she has worked on and improved and improved.
Wynn fights that one off. Rogers to Johnson, and it's blocked. Callender right there for Towson.
She is so steady. Nothing flashy out of Sarah Callender. We've seen this time and time again in this game. 6 kills, 10 digs for Sarah Callender. She gets the job done.
Third long run on service for Barrett in this match. Gillens trying to end it and finds the corner. Anna Logan Gillens, another precise play.
And once again, she loves to try to go straight down that line. That is her spot.
Johnson, 4th-year Blue Hen, 5th year of college volleyball. Spent a season at Virginia Tech. Middle opportunity, and Brothers got a little out in front of her body, misses wide.
The mental toughness and the composure of Delaware today when Towson goes on runs after they drop the first set. They are just so disciplined.
Barrett can't handle that serve from Johnson, who finds an ace to give Delaware the lead. High risk, high reward serves. We talked about it. 7 airs for each team. 8 aces for Towson. 7 now for Delaware. Callender near the net. Got it through the block try of Murray.
Sarah Callender again. I think that was such a smart decision by Kaitlyn Moran. She set the ball so well and allowed Callender to be able to execute.
Sydney Stort's got that right hamstring wrapped right now. Siemens able to fight off the return. Gillens through the block. Her 2nd kill of the set, and Delaware regains the lead.
And that time she goes cross court, so she can mix it up. You can't just try to set the block in terms of where you think she'll go. And I think that was very smart by Gillens.
Rogers will head to medical school after this season. Barrett. Good first touch. Callender again eats up Siemens, but she got enough. And then Rogers was able to get it over. Another try for Callender. Goes the touch route. It was Gillens going down to get it. Knockeye sent it over, and Gillens made her pay.
And what about the set from Asia Murray? She's just doing it all out on the floor right now.
When it's your night, it's your night. Kaitlyn Moran looking for an answer for Towson as Rogers back to work for the Blue Hens. Callender did enough. Another try. And Siemens was there. Callender floating towards the middle. DeMango finding the soft spot between Rogers and Siemens.
And this has worked so well for Towson throughout this match. So I would continue to push the ball to the middle. DeMango, such a good option. Brothers has been a good option. I would continue to push the ball there.
Jesse into the net. 8th service error of the day for Towson. Delaware by a deuce.
That is tough for Towson. In this must-win set, you want to serve aggressively, but you also don't want to give away points on the service error.
Taylor Holly. The block from Delaware. Barrett, good reflexes to keep it up. Abdul Rahim yet again. It has been a show from the senior, her 9th put away.
Her approach today and yesterday has really been so well timed. She's made very few mistakes when she has been approaching the ball, and it's why we've seen her have so much success.
Callender airmails it. Service error number 9. And as good as Towson was on serve in the first set, it is betraying them now in the pivotal 4th.
It's a really good point because that was the X factor, the aggressive serving, and Delaware struggling in serve receive.
Barrett slams it home. Barrett again overpowering Delaware, and Towson won't go away.
they're certainly going to give her opportunities when they need those big points, because Victoria Barrett, 11 of 19 today, hitting 52.6%.
Diving late adjustment there from Wynn. Hughes from off the net. And Jesse was there. Barrett from way off the net and just didn't have the angle. Was hoping for a touch, didn't get it, and the side out to the Blue Hens.
She had to make the adjustment, and it just did not work in her favor. And now you have Hannah Wright back to serve.
One of the spark plugs on this Delaware team. So much energy and a willingness to do anything to help the Blue Hens succeed, but an ill-timed service error, and Towson gets the side out, back down by 1.
Both teams struggling at pivotal moments in terms of the service errors. Now you have Kaitlyn Moran coming back in. She's another very strong server for Towson.
17 combined between the two teams. I think it's a testament to how good they think the other is, trying to be almost perfect on every serve. Siemens on the brilliant cross-court set, but couldn't put it away. Barrett, and a center line violation gives the point to Delaware.
So that is unlucky for Towson. And again, worth noting, they don't have challenges left, so not going to be able to challenge any of these plays coming down the stretch.
Stewart handles that one deftly, and Knockeye had it fought off by Siemens. Gillens from way off the net fights it through the combo of brothers, and Knockeye, Delaware by 3.
Savannah Siemens is doing the work defensively. She always does. Her ability to keep the ball off the floor, 15 digs, which is a match high.
How did Stewart adjust to get that one up, and then Barrett had it fought off by Siemens. Gillens, and that one ricochet off the net and go wide. Towson gets the side out.
And Towson really looking to take advantage here behind the serve of Victoria Barrett.
High-intensity volleyball. Winner gets Charleston in tomorrow's championship match. Wynn trying to fight it off. Rogers uses the net to help her. Towson a chance to play downhill. It's Knockeye, had it sent back there, and a brilliant play to get it over. Towson getting organized again. Calendar, and it dug out by Wynn, and Rogers does it herself.
Matt, I have to tell you, the tension in this building is palpable. These crowds, they both feel so strongly and so passionately about their teams. You can just tell how nervous everyone is, everyone holding their breath on these calls. This is really quite an atmosphere for a CAA tournament, and these two teams have really put on a show today.
Well, for Towson, so many of the coaches inside the program point to Delaware as their chief rival. Don Meadow says there is tremendous respect for the Delaware program, and it has been so much fun facing them over the last half-decade. But he says our rival is Hofstra. That just has lasted longer. But as this just continues to build in intensity, you can see and feel the drama in the air every time they score off. When we were talking at the beginning of the week, you never know how it's going to play out. Stony Brook was a good team, but the idea of getting another Delaware-Towson matchup was so tempting because they have almost all been entertaining, other than the first one in this series of 4 where Delaware just wasn't ready yet. They were on the ascent. The 23 championship game, it was a sweep, but all 3 sets were tight. Last year, it was a comeback from Delaware after they dropped a set, and they finally climbed the mountain. And then this year, it just feels like haymakers getting exchanged both ways.
Well, and again, I think credit to Delaware because Towson came out with more focus, I think, in that first set. But the way that Delaware responded, and you have to think if you don't have Savannah Siemens, Lily Rogers, Kira Johnson on your roster, maybe that doesn't happen.
Moran, beautiful adjustment to set that one, but Knockeye couldn't get it down. The block, sending it back was Brothers. Gillens has to send it over. Brothers again in the middle, What a huge response for Towson, back within 2.
Time and time again from Erin Brothers. She just gives you that big positive play. It feels like every time she comes in on the front row, she gives you that one big moment of momentum. It's absolutely huge for Erin Brothers.
Can Stewart get something going? It's been a relatively quiet night for her. Gillens had it blocked. Wynn swept in to get it. Siemens for the back line. Got it up. Savannah Siemens, another timely play for the 5th-year senior.
I honestly don't think she could do more for Delaware. She has been absolutely tremendous to me last year in this tournament. She was really the player all around that I just felt like came up time and time again. Lonnie Mason was the headliner, but Savannah Siemens was the heart and soul.
Rogers just misses. Great vision from Barrett to let it go. And Towson gets the side out back as Barrett trying to will her team to a comeback.
Now, Zaire Abdul-Rahim has just come back into this contest, so we'll see how quickly they look to get her involved, because I would look to set her almost immediately.
Jesse has been pretty good on serve today for Towson, and finds the back line as Delaware lets it go. It's an ace for the sophomore.
Well, you heard Don Metal talk about this last year. She's not serving wimpy. She's really going for it. That's a big serve for Maisie Jesse.
He said last year she was a little bit timid. She came to him and said, "I'm not serving wimpy anymore." And boy, has she made those words sound prophetic today. Gillens has it sent back. Calendar again, and Towson draws even.
I'm telling you, she's just so steady, and it's not terribly flashy. She doesn't have those big emotional reactions, but Sarah Calendar just time and time again makes those big moments. 6 kills, 12 digs, 2 blocks. They ask a lot of her. She plays 6 rotations. She really does everything at such a high level. That's a big play by Calendar.
The transfer who came over from William and Mary, first season as a Tiger, comes from Chandler, Arizona, but played her high school volleyball in Virginia, where she was the 3A State Player of the Year. And boy, has she provided a spark. You've seen Barrett try to will her team back into it. It seemed like that Sarah Calendar has found her voice second half of the year as well. Much more vocal out there, and she has brought the juice today for the Tigers.
And that's been a big subject of conversation this week when we've been talking about these teams where there are these players that second half of the season, they have come on so strong. And I think that's a credit to the coaches in this league. The way that they develop these players, they give them the skill set so that they are really poised to succeed in conference play and certainly come tournament time.
The coaching in this league, beyond reproach. So good. And it's why these teams just get better and better as the year goes on. Here's Hughes off a fingertip near the net, and Delaware calling the timeout and stemming the tide to get the lead back.
Well, you know, I was just talking about how I would set Abdul-Rahim if I was Towson. I would set Raina Hughes if I was Delaware.
He's feeling it. Here's Holly going to work, the true freshman, another first state native. Tamango had it fought off by Holly. Stewart goes to Abdul-Rahim. What a diving dig by Wynn. And then Stewart says right back at you. Touch play from Calendar, Wynn again. Hughes had it fought off by Jesse. Stewart communicating well for Towson. Hughes had it fought off, and Delaware takes the point.
Let's talk about Cadence Wynn and the diving play from the libero for Delaware, who is doing everything she can to keep the ball off the floor. That was a good series for Cadence Wynn.
Holly too deep and side out to Towson. The Tigers back within a single score.
Both teams continuing to serve very aggressively, and now you bring up Sarah Calendar, who has an extremely aggressive serve.
And it has been her day. She has excelled against Delaware in all 3 of the matches. Siemens, good first touch. Rogers racing over. Siemens stepping up, but Storr taking it out. Callender has to send it over. Another opportunity for Delaware. They set the center, but too much from Murray. And we are tied again.
That's unlucky from Murray because she's been hitting the ball so well. But you see Kimberly Lambert, she's over there. She's talking with Murray. She's educating. She's encouraging. That is good coaching from Kimberly Lambert.
Rogers goes to Hughes. Touch play, sent back. Delaware keeps it afloat. Barrett from off the net. Had it rejected. Murray!
Asia Murray again. The game that she has had for Delaware. She's been over there having to contend with Victoria Barrett. That was a really nice play.
Delaware by 1. Towson looking for the response. Abdul-Rahim couldn't get it down in front of Wynn. Siemens, touch play. Diving effort from Jesse as she stuck out the left hand. Abdul-Rahim had it blocked, kept it up, but no one home, and Delaware's up 2.
This has been a big run here by Delaware. You see the composure on the floor, and Matt, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but you have to wonder, having a lot of players who did this last year, is that paying off for Delaware? Big play.
It pays off for DeMango. She got the experience last year and uses it here. Towson within 1. And now Elenia DeMango, the second team All-CAA selection, will give way to Laura Detweiler. 3rd time that Don Meadow has called upon Detweiler. He wasn't sure who was going to fill this role coming into the week. He was looking at numbers right up until pass and serve on the day of the match. He settles on Detweiler. And Johnson finds the opening side out to the Blue Hens. 5 points from a championship match. Kingwood Charleston.
Such vision by Johnson. You saw the way that the defense was set up on the floor, and there was an opening, and Kira Johnson found it.
Another Delaware senior, Hannah Wright, comes on to serve for the Blue Hens. Barrett, good touch. Abdul-Rahim had it blocked again. Delaware has found its blocking line here in this last set, but Barrett finds her touch. Siemens tried to provide some magic, but not enough to stop Victoria Barrett.
You know that Victoria Barrett is going to do everything she can right now for Towson. It is that moment where you have to step up, and Victoria Barrett does.
The CAA Player of the Year. She's still got a year of eligibility left. Wynn able to keep that one up. Siemens near the net. And Callender there yet again. Barrett, another try. Late reaction from Wright, kept it up. They set the center. Brothers, the touch play, and a center line violation against Brothers. Or actually a net fault, but the result is the same. Delaware up 2.
A costly mistake for Towson, and now you send Savannah Siemens back to serve. One of the strongest servers on this team.
200 career aces, including one tonight. Stewart able to handle that one. Barrett. Wow, Wright went down to get it. Gillens, touch play. Barrett again, and finds the opening.
And they are going to go to Victoria Barrett in this moment. You go to the CAA Player of the Year to try to carry this team.
But now she rotates back to serve. Wynn diving in to get it. Set in front of Johnson. Block was there from Brothers. Johnson, another try. And into the net went Nakai. Nothing she could do. Delaware's 3 points away.
You just look at the Delaware side of the court. This team is so composed. They're so locked in. They're not getting too high. They're not getting too low. They are just very steady.
Johnson serving for the Hens, but a service error, and Towson gets the side out with 3-1.
And this is a big moment for Sydney Stewart, looking to make a big run behind her service game.
Rogers goes to Gillens, and Gillens too strong. We are tied.
What a comeback by Towson. This is going to force a Delaware timeout. It felt like Delaware had all the momentum. We had those 2 violations by Towson, and you felt like that might be the thing that would finally break this match and swing it towards Delaware's way. Towson finds a way to recover. We felt like these 2 teams were so evenly matched, and that's the storyline of this tournament. There's a lot of parity. There was no clear favorite coming into this event. The games today, they have really delivered.
Charleston able to outlast Hofstra in 4 sets. They await the winner of this one tomorrow afternoon. Towson, it was a win by the Tigers in the regular season finale over Hofstra that actually gave Delaware the bye, as they would have lost the tiebreaker to Charleston and Hofstra and played in the 3-6 game yesterday. It would have been Towson in the 4-5, and they would have faced Charleston earlier, instead having to deal with Delaware yet again as they earn their way to the 3 slot. And what a response from the Tigers here down the stretch. They have played in 5 consecutive CAA championship games, and they do not want that streak to end. Stewart back to work for Towson. Rogers goes to the middle, and Murray had it blocked. Callender had it fought off by Wynn. Backline try for Siemens. Too deep. Towson takes the lead.
That is unlucky for Siemens. She was looking for placement on that ball. It goes long, and now there is an opening for the Tigers to try to tie this up. Another big serve for Sydney Stewart.
What a run from Stewart. Rogers going to Gillens. Gillens finding the corner. Perfect placement, and Delaware draws even.
And again, we talked about the diversity. You can't just hit down the line. She's switched it up. The last few times she has had an attempt, she's gone cross court. She's gone for a little more finesse. I like the diversity in the game of Anna Logan Gillens.
Neither coach is going to leave any stone unturned. Another timeout called by Towson, so both teams are out here in this 4th set. Kim Lambert in her 3rd season in charge at Delaware, but in her 8th year on the Delaware staff. She arrived with former head coach Sarah Matthews in 2017, then worked her way up to associate head coach for 3 years. And when Matthews left for Notre Dame in the offseason after 2021, it was Lambert who was pegged for the job. All she did was reach the championship game in 2022, break through and win it in 2023, and she's 2 points away from going 3 for 3 in terms of reaching the finals. And Kim Lambert, someone that believes in communication above all else. You see the way that circle is constructed. It is purposeful. It is an open dialogue inside that program. She has an open door in her office. She said when she became the head coach, she noticed the players weren't using that open door nearly as much as they were when she was an assistant. So she nipped that in the bud right away and regained that open dialogue. And there's just such tremendous trust inside this Blue Hen program, just as there is with Towson. These are 2 of the best in the conference.
It's the culture that's been created by Don Meadow and by Kimberly Lambert for their respective programs, and it's one reason why they've been at the tops of the league for so long.
Rogers serve returned, and Domingo gives Towson set point.
It has been quite a tournament for Domingo. She's waited her time. She's really taken the feedback from the coaching staff and made those adjustments, and it has poised her to be ready to shine this weekend.
Macy Jesse serving to force a 5th set here at Towson. Into the net, service inside out Delaware.
And this is interesting. So coming back in now, Taylor Holly. A lot of pressure on the shoulders of the freshman. She has been so good this season, the true freshman.
A near ace. Return set over. Opportunity for Delaware. Hughes had it fought off by Abdul Rahim. Win on the back pedal. Whitfield Moss couldn't find an opening. Callender had it fought off by Holly. Hughes again. Barrett was there. Abdul Rahim had it dug almost to the rafters by Wynn. And then Abdul Rahim finds the line, set point again for Towson.
And it does feel almost fitting that that play was made by Zaire Abdul Rahim. She has come up so big in this tournament. The evolution we have seen out of her has been absolutely tremendous.
Here's Callender, another opportunity to force a 5th. Rogers goes to Hughes, and Hughes deadlocks it again.
It's Raina Hughes on one end. It's Zaire Abdul Rahim on the other. This is CAA volleyball at its best. These players keep stepping it up another level.
Caden Swin in her first year won a battle for the libero position this summer. And now serving with her team, 2 points for the championship match. They go to Abdul Rahim, but Wynn was there. Center set to Johnson, dug out by Jesse. Abdul Rahim had it blocked. Barrett finally gets a touch and finds the opening.
That is why she is the CAA Player of the Year, and I love the emotion and the intensity out of Victoria Barrett. This is her team on the floor. She is doing everything she can to energize them.
Quite literally trying to will them to a 5th set. 3rd set point for Towson. DeMango had it fought off by Wynn. Siemens from off the net gets the ricochet, and Delaware draws even yet again.
I am just in awe of Savannah Siemens and the way that she gets things done out on the floor. 7 kills, 17 digs, 4 assists, 3 blocks, and an ace for Savannah Siemens.
Now it's Hannah Wright. They go to Barrett. Touch play. Siemens saw it coming. Johnson a little off balance. So now Towson, golden opportunity. Brothers had it dug out by Holly. Rogers couldn't get it down. Johnson does. Match point for Delaware.
That is a combination of smart play by Lily Rogers, who got the defense off kilter, and Kira Johnson, who finishes it for Delaware.
Hannah Wright serving for the match and a trip to the championship tomorrow. Barrett fought it off. Here she is at the net. Gets it down, and Towson deadlocks it at 27.
You knew they were going to Victoria Barrett. It was a point that they had to have. And how many times in her career has Victoria Barrett delivered just like that?
This is like the most active stare-down contest in the history of the world. Who's going to blink first? Towson drawing even and going to Matt White, the senior. Her first action this weekend. Rogers goes to Johnson. Johnson has it blocked. It's wide, and Delaware takes the lead. Towson is out of challenges.
That is a big play. Victoria Barrett thought that she was going to have that big block. Instead, it goes wide. Can Savannah Siemens help in this behind her serve?
Serving for the match. Calendar, good first touch. Barrett again. Barrett misses wide, and Delaware wins a thriller. The Hens outlasting Towson and march on to face Charleston in tomorrow's championship match.
What a comeback by the Blue Hens. When we talked with Kimberly Lambert earlier this week, she told us, look, sometimes this team has won ugly this season. It has been a process, but that process has gotten the Blue Hens here. And I think the mental toughness, having those experienced players who have been here before, Savannah Siemens, to me, did exactly what Savannah Siemens does. She takes care of business. She completely stuffs the stat sheet. She leads by example. She leads by emotion and words. I thought she was amazing today. And I think when you have players like Raina Hughes and Asia Murray that have the contest that they had, it was a great day for Delaware.
It was a great day for the CAA. What a match. Two programs that are as good as they come, and neither one would give an inch. You hate to see somebody lose. I know we talk about cliche. That's the ultimate cliche, but it rings oh so true today as Don Metal addresses his team. Delaware celebrates, and Kim Lambert, who makes her third championship match in 3 years in charge of this Delaware program, will join us here courtside. So Delaware, a winner. Kim Lambert, the head coach of the Blue Hens, joins us 3 times in 3 years as the head coach. You have made it to the championship match. You have to be so proud of this team and the fight and resolve they showed. How were you guys able to outlast a gritty Towson
I think
team?
that was 100% grit. I mean, Towson is always, I feel like I'm really close to the mic. Towson is always a really solid and skilled and well-coached team. And we knew that we were going to have to play ugly and do whatever needed to happen in order to be able to score some points and try to do that more than them. And so I'm just really proud of the girls for fighting as hard as they did and never, ever giving up.
Coach, you told us earlier in the week that Asia Murray might be an ace up the sleeve. She and Raina Hughes today, I thought they were absolutely tremendous, perhaps the X factor for your team.
100%, both of them. I mean, Raina, I think this might have been her best match all season. And what a time to, have that come out, because, I mean, we really needed it. Our outsides were struggling to put the balls away, and typically we're outside heavy normally. So it was really great to see Raina step up into that role. And then Asia just to be thrown in like that, something that she hasn't really been doing for us lately. I mean, she does it in practice, every day. I'm just glad that, she did get the opportunity and she did what she could for us, and she really did help push us ahead.
Coach, you talked about grit earlier, and I think when you have players on your roster that have been here before, a Savannah Siemens, a Lily Rogers, a Kira Johnson, in a match like this where it comes down to big play after big play, how much does it help having those three?
It definitely does help having them. I mean, I think that their leadership on the court and their sheer determination, I think Sav specifically, I mean, she is one who, it doesn't matter what's going on in her life or how bad she might think she's playing that day, she's going to find a way at key moments for us, and the same with Kira. So I'm so grateful for those three, specifically. But man, I think it was a total team effort today, and I'm really proud. Especially, I think Taylor Holly stepped up at key moments for us in that second, or actually the third match. After not doing so great in the second, she was able to turn it around and really decide, I'm not going to let any more balls hit the ground, and she didn't.
It was an absolute thriller, but a roller coaster of emotions for your team. You go through the ringer tonight. You survive and you get to move on to tomorrow's championship, but now it's a very quick turnaround. Yeah. How do you get over the emotions of this one and get ready to play for a championship so quickly?
Honestly, I don't know that we do. I think that we're going to have to try to ride it out tomorrow, because again, we're talking about a team in Charleston that, we haven't played. We haven't faced them yet, and they are always well coached. I mean, Jason, I think, is definitely one of the top coaches in our league. And we're going to have our work cut out for us for sure. But I think that we're going to have to do the same thing. We're going to have to approach it as we got to grind, we got to work, we got to figure out a way and try to make it happen.
Well, I know you have a lot of work left in front of you, so we'll let you go. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach.
Kim Lambert, the head coach of the Delaware Blue Hens, who win an absolute thriller over the Towson Tigers and march on. They will face Charleston in tomorrow's championship match. Monica, we promised you 2 good games, and we delivered 4 sets in the first match. Charleston was able to just get over the hump and avoid a 5th, and then I don't know how that last one didn't go 5 sets. Towson did everything they could to get back in it. That was as fun as we have seen in years, and we've seen a lot of good ones in this event over the seasons.
We have. If these are the semifinals, I cannot wait for the final. You have this Charleston team. They're so disciplined. Their defense today was on point. This was nothing new for Charleston. It's been a bit of a calling card for them all season long. That's something Delaware is going to have to contend with. On the other hand, Charleston is going to have to deal with that grit, that that experience of Delaware and players who seem to be peaking at the right time.
So it is a quick turnaround. Blue Hens are celebrating right now. Kim Lambert said you're going to have to try to just ride through it and get ready tomorrow. Early read on what we could expect in that championship match.
Well, again, I think that Charleston, based on what we saw today, they're going to be ready with their blocks. They're going to try to slow down the Delaware offense. Meanwhile, for Delaware, I think you're going to see just great team play. I thought defensively they were very good as well. Again, defense wins championships. I think the team that has the better defense tomorrow is going to be your CAA champion.
So many options to choose from in terms of a Jersey Mike sub above play of the game today. I don't know what direction that you go. The producers will tell us the entire match was the play of the game. That's our Jersey Mike sub above play of the game, as neither team deserved to lose. That'll do it for us, for Monica Moore and our entire Flow College crew. Delaware celebrating behind us. They got a lot of business to do tomorrow. They will take on Charleston. We'll see you at 4 p.m. Championship match. The Blue Hens and the Cougars. Looking forward to it as Delaware outlasting Towson today.
Let's go. Next week.